First of all, let me just say that this volume training, I don't know about you guys, it's been incredible. I was part of the last volume training we did, and I feel like even this go around, I'm still continuing to learn so much. So it's been a fun ride. And I'm so excited to be here talking with you guys tonight. So some of you might know me, others you may not. My name is Jen Crowder. I've been a coach now for 18 months. I have 5 little boys, and this past June, I was finally able to quit my full-time teaching job to stay at home with them. So that's been amazing. So tonight, I'm going to talk to you guys about driving team volume. Now, most of the other trainings in this volume group focused a lot on you and you just learning things for you, understanding, placement, how second business centers work, all of that stuff. And tonight, this is really going to focus on your team. So this is one of my favorite topics. I'm going to be sharing with you different ways to collaborate with your team of coaches or your upline or just the team that you work with. So even if you're a brand new coach or you're feeling like you've only been coaching for a little while, always remember that whatever you're doing, you are setting that example for your team. So even if you have 1 coach or 2 coaches, I think you had to be an emerald to be in this group, they're really looking up to you as a leader. So if they see you doing stuff, they're going to want to do it as well. So the different groups that I talk about tonight and the different things, if you see your upline coach running these groups, maybe it's a 21-day fixed focus group, really try to participate because your coaches aren't going to do it if they don't see you doing it. So kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Also, the speed of the leader, we hear it all the time, is the speed of the pack. And so if you really want to drive team volume, you need to make sure you're doing what you need to do in your personal business, your personal volume, to set that example for them. Okay? So, all right, time to get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. My gosh, I can't talk. Like seriously, like 50% of the time I screw up my words. All right. Maybe it's because I have 5 kids and my brain sometimes doesn't work. All right. Let's see. All right. Hold on 1 second. All right. I think I did that. Oh my goodness. So let's see. All right. All right, so driving team volume. All right, the first thing that's going to really help increase your team volume is by participating or hosting yourself a 6 or a 7-day Shakeology group. Now, I personally like to plan these out the week prior to my challenge group. Definitely planning ahead and mapping these things out in advance is essential. And there's 2 ways to run these groups. You can have your challengers and even your coaches on your team order the sampler Shakeology pack, which is going to give you 6 different flavors of Shakeology. So you can run a 6-day Shakeology group with that. Or you can order the 24 packets of Shakeology, and depending on how many people decide that they're going to participate in your group, you can figure out the math and figure out how many boxes of that Shakeology you would need. And if you think about it, guys, each box of Shakeology, that's 90 PV right there. If you need to purchase 2 or 3, for yourself, do the math. Your PV is going to be increasing. So if your coaches in your downline are doing the same, obviously right there in itself is going to drive your team volume. What I've done in the past is, gotten the PayPal money from the potential challengers. I usually do $5 a piece. So for 1 week, it's $35. Then I figure out how many, and then I go ahead and order it. A tip that I'm going to share later is I usually never order it under my coaching account. I usually order it under my husband's. Therefore, not only do I get the discount, but then I also get the extra team volume for my husband since he's under me. He's one of my coaches. So during a 6 or 7 day Shakeology group, this is where you'll be providing them with meal plans, some of your favorite Shakeology recipes, tips to make their shakes, because let's be honest, guys, I was that person that made their shake and was like, what is this? You know, I put water, 1 scoop of vanilla, I shook it up and was like, okay, I'm supposed to drink this. So, you know, really giving them tips of how to make it definitely is important during one of these groups. Sometimes you can host little fun daily challenges, little pop challenges. And what you're basically doing, you're introducing potential customers to what a challenge group is, to what the culture, the support, the accountability that they're going to get from being a part of your challenge group. And also, you are hoping that they're going to fall in love with Shakeology. So after you run one of those groups, you know, definitely follow up with the challengers and invite them to join you, you know, with a challenge pack now. You know, now that they've sampled it out, you know, hey, which one was your favorite? And, you know, helping them pick out a challenge pack to roll over into your upcoming challenge group. And that's why I said I like to plan it the week prior to your challenge group, or at least 2 weeks prior, so that you can just roll them, keep them going. There are templates to use. So if you and, you know, some of the other coaches on your team or some of your downline coaches, you know, you want to team up and run a Shakeology group, you can definitely do that. I know for us on my team, TurboFit, we definitely do a team-wide one. We don't do it every month. Sometimes some coaches will do one, but at team-wide, we usually every other month we run them. And that is a great way right there just to build that team volume. And like I said, to expose customers to what a challenge group is without the big commitment of a challenge pack yet, and hope, you know, that they fall in love with Shakeology. The next type of group that you can run to help drive that volume, and you're not going to necessarily see the volume right away, is running a Beachbody on-demand group. These are free groups, and you guys know people love free. So you can do a free 7-day group, a free 21-day group, a free 30-day Beachbody on-demand group, where basically they are signing up for a club membership. Once again, I like to do, if I'm going to be running a 7-day one, which is the most common, I like to do it the week prior to the opening of a challenge group. So it's going to be free for the first 30 days. And then after that 30 days, if they decide they want to keep the club membership, they are just going to be paying $2.99 a week, which is basically, you know, $38.87, $40 quarterly. So during that week, you can provide them a schedule so that they can sample a new program each day. I know right now with the launch of Hammer and Chisel, there are some amazing hybrid schedules that are combining Body Beast and 21-Day Fix and the 2 sample programs for Hammer and Chisel. That would be perfect leading into the launch of Hammer and Chisel. You can also decide that, you know, hey, I really want to do a 1-week group where, you know, they're going to try Shakeology for those 7 days, and they're going to do Beachbody on demand. Basically, it's a mini challenge group without the big commitment. And once again, it gives them a chance to fall in love with the programs, and really just, you know, for us, the challenge groups are so important just, you know, for the accountability, the support, the motivation. So getting them to fall in love with that and want more from that. You are only going to get 15 PV every quarter. So it's not going to be a lot for team volume to start with. But if you think about it, in the long run, if you can introduce somebody to a program and, you know, maybe they're trying out TurboFire and they're like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love this. Or, you know, they're trying out Size and they decide, okay, I'm going to roll over. I'm going to do a challenge pack. You know, that's going to be where your team volume is coming from. So, you know, once again, after that week or 21 days or 30 days, whatever you decide to do, you know, follow up with them, invite them to continue this journey with a challenge pack, or, you know, invite them just to keep the Beachbody on demand if they're happy with that. There's different ways, but this is another way to help drive team volume. Now, 3-day refresh groups and ultimate reset groups. I have not done an ultimate reset group, but you could definitely do one. Basically, it would be a focus group centered around the ultimate reset group where you were doing it along with, you know, coaches on your team and other challengers. And ultimately, it would increase team volume because if you had your downline participating and, you know, they're purchasing the ultimate reset and they're sharing and inviting others, and obviously you have to have the ultimate reset to be in their group, your volume is going to increase. Now, I put customer versus coach groups because you can, you know, team up with some coaches on your team and hold these exclusive 3-day refresh groups where you're inviting customers to, you know, purchase 3-day refresh and join you guys. Or you can do a coach group where it's just for coaches on your team. So for example, my team, we're getting ready to kick off something on November 30th where we're gonna run a 3-day refresh group that is also part of a 21-day challenge group, and it's just for coaches where everyone's gonna do a cash pot buy-in of $10. Obviously, they've got to purchase the 3-day refresh, so you can see how, you know, the coaches in your downline, when they're purchasing that, it's about 50 PV, you know, that's going to add up over time. And then what we're doing is we're taking, they have to take their before pictures, their measurements, and then after, they're going to post their after pictures, their after measurements, and then some of the coaches on the team were going to be voting and picking winners. So you can kind of play around with how you want to do that, but that is a perfect way to get team volume up. Also, guys, it gives your coaches a transformation pic to share. You know, we always are talking about being a product of the product, and by doing something like this, you know, and inviting your coaches to do it with you, they will have the proof that, hey, look, I did it. This is how it worked for me. It also, like I said, it's about 50 PV. It helps those inactive coaches become active. So this is a great time of year to start, you know, reaching out to those coaches that are inactive, maybe kind of, you know, need that extra nudge. And hey, you know, you do want to jump in this 3-day refresh group. You know, let's go ahead and, you know, right after Thanksgiving, let's do it. It's perfect to plan right after the holidays. Like I said, Thanksgiving, right after Christmas. Also a great time, you know, at the beginning of the new year when people are, you know, making that long list of resolutions, or to do it right before the beginning of your challenge group. Focus groups and program launches. My team, we love doing focus groups. Usually 21 Day Fix Extreme is what our go-to focus group is. Basically, it's where in addition to each of our monthly challenge groups that we're running, we team up together and we run a challenge group that is focused around a specified program. So like I said, 21 Day Fix is perfect. Then not only do you have, you know, your coaches in your downline trying it out, getting those transformation pics, getting the testimonies, being able to share, you know, they're inviting challengers to do it with them, and, you know, they have to have that program in order to be in that focus group, that test group. Like I had mentioned earlier, this is great to tie in the Beachbody on demand, especially right before a program launch like Hammer and Chisel. That's the big one right now, guys. If you can do a 7-day Beachbody on demand group where they're getting a chance to sample Hammer and Chisel, fall in love with it, so that when it's released, you know, bam, they can get that challenge pack and they can roll over into your upcoming challenge group or your Hammer and Chisel focus group. And guys, with Hammer and Chisel or any new programs, please don't wait until the program is released or 2 days before. Hype it up, get excited. I mean, we have access to 2 of the sample programs. Take pictures of you working out and sharing and, talking about how excited you are. I know Nikki has an amazing transformation pic. Share that. There's other pictures. Just really hype it up so that when it comes out and you're talking about it, people are like, oh man, I really want that. And like I said, those focus groups, program launches, when you're doing it together, it gives you and your coaches a transformation pic, and it gives you a story to be able to tell. The performance line, this is another great way, guys, to really drive team volume. You can host a team-wide performance line accountability group where everyone can choose a different product or a few different products that they can try out during the group, and then they'll be able to have a testimony to share. How did they feel using it? Because it is hard to speak to a product if you've never used it. So if you say, hey guys, how about we put together this group, we're all going to try whatever type of performance line that interests you, and we're going to be holding ourselves accountable during it, and we're going to be talking about our experiences with it. People obviously have to purchase it. That's going to boost team volume, and the biggest, they'll have something to be able to share. Sharing these products in your challenge groups is great. Doing a performance line spotlight where maybe each week you highlight one of the new performance line and you talk about what it is, what it's good for, and, just sharing it with your challenge group, especially since these are still fairly new. A lot of time people aren't aware of them. So just, sprinkling it in, or, Energize, if you're drinking your daily Energize like me, taking your picture, your selfie with your performance line, it gets them wondering, what is that? Should I be using that too? Also using it as prizes or incentives, especially in your challenge group, it gets them curious and they're like, oh, I could win that? Okay, well, if I don't win it, what is it? Should I have that? And it just gets them interested. So not only does that, help with your personal volume, sharing that tool and that idea with your team, that will help them, which will in turn help team volume. Another thing that you can do, and this is more for you personally, but sharing this idea with your coaches and your team, is offering incentives. When we go to sign people up with challenge packs, maybe we want to say, hey, the first 3 people that get signed up, maybe I'm going to offer a Target gift card, or those 21-day Fix wellness planners. Those were super cute. They really liked those. Or Fixate cookbooks, especially I know when we did a 21-day Fix focus group, that was our big thing. I think it was like the first 5 people, they would get the Fixate cookbook. And it really helps, if you've got your team offering those same incentives, they're hitting their Success Club points, they're, getting challengers with a program with Shakeology, and then a fun little prize too, because we all know we love prizes, little fun incentives. And then the last thing, and I had to put my husband and my boys there, is ordering from your spouse and your family member's coaching account. So what I mean by this, if you have your husband or spouse or, mom, dad, someone signed up as one of your coaches, instead of ordering Hammer and Chisel, because, we're all getting Hammer and Chisel, right? Instead of ordering it under your coaching account, if you order it under your husband's, you're going to get the 25% discount, but that's going to be team volume under you. That's going to help with those team cycles. So, my husband, for example, he is no longer on Shakeology HD. I've canceled that, and he's actually getting 2 performance lines under him to keep him active. And one of them I'm using, but like I said, I ordered it under him because, hey, he's getting the discount. Hey, I'm getting the team volume. I mean, I'm winning, right? So just, kind of strategically thinking about, when you want something, if you want to try that new program out, or, even the Shakeology, if you're going to run a Shakeology group and you're going to order 3 boxes of Shakeology, order it under your spouse's account so that that volume is under there, and that will help with team volume. So I think that is it from here. All right, let me make sure I can, whoops. All right, I'm back. So anyways, the big thing from this, guys, hold on, I think it's like chopping off my head, is really just collaborating, and collaborating with your upline coach, collaborating with your team, collaborating with your downline, and just really working together. I know my team, we have a monthly calendar that is pinned to our team page, and it has all of the different focus groups for the month. If we're running a Shakeology group, it has all of that stuff there. And it's really important to get into the habit of looking ahead and just mapping out what the next month is going to look like, and start planning those things. So I hope that gives you guys a few ideas to start working on. I look forward to the Q&A on Thursday, and so write down any of those questions you guys have for me, and thanks for joining me. I hope you guys have a great night.